Echo and HarperAudio present Two Women Living Together by Hana and Hwang Sunwoo. Read by Jessica Lee and Sophia Jin.
The Birth of a Molecular Family. Hana. Living alone suits me. I think that's something only people who've lived alone for 10 years straight can say. At first, I really loved living alone. I've lived with friends before, but dealing with conflicting personalities and habits can be quite stressful, especially when you're sharing a tight space. Having my own place where I had the last and only say on where to put the bath mat, how to do the laundry, or arrange the books was the perfect living arrangement for me. Also, I thought. A decade on, however, I was faced with a new type of stress, one that had been lying dormant. One morning in my parents' home in Busan, a 4-hour drive from where I live in Seoul, I was awoken by the clinking of bowls and the soft gurgling of something my parents had got up early to concoct for breakfast. As I lay in bed taking in the sounds and aroma of rice and stew, warmth percolated in me. Perhaps that heightened sensitivity was the natural result of years of waking up to cold silence. After that morning, I suddenly became aware of the demands and efforts of living alone. Without realizing, I'd been expending energy on late-night thoughts and needless worrying. I wondered, was my weariness a sign that I'd grown out of the perks of living alone? Marriage wasn't a solution. In fact, it felt like the most foolish thing to do, running straight into another draining world, one ruled by the institution of marriage, in-laws, and patriarchy. Besides, it didn't seem like any man was going to sweep me off my feet and turn me into a fool anytime soon. And that wasn't something I wanted anyway. I naturally began to seek out a different way of life. I looked into everything from living with friends to house shares, and eventually ended up meeting a woman who was very similar to me. We were both from Busan, had lived alone for a very long time, were seeking a new form of companionship that didn't involve getting a husband, and we each had 2 cats. With some help from the bank, we bought a spacious apartment to live in together. Rather than having 2 separate homes where each kitchen, bathroom, and hall would be jam-packed into little more than 33 meters squared, sharing one home that was twice the size and furnished with the same amenities made so much more sense. Talk about extra space. Our cats finally had the freedom to run around. Most importantly, we got a bathtub. It wasn't something I desperately wanted in the past, given the lack of space, but it's certainly nice to have. It's been over 2 years since I started living with my cohabitant, and I couldn't be happier with our arrangement. We've got our chore distribution down to a T. Sunwoo takes care of the cooking and tidying and puts the laundry in the washing machine, while I do the dishes and cleaning and put away the laundry. When I'm in bed, sensing another person's presence in the house instantly relaxes me. Every morning, we're woken gently by signs of this shared life, while our little greetings, "Did you sleep well? You're home. I'll be right back," add a splash of color to our daily lives. When I lived alone, I had to make a conscious effort to keep up my emotional temperature. But with Sunwoo around, that comes naturally. And if I ever need to raise my actual body temperature, I've got a tub to soak in. But the best part is, we're both single. During the holidays, we'll visit our parents or ask after them. Our parents are quite pleased with our living arrangement. They find it reassuring. Sunwoo's mum always sends me a box of all my favorite side dishes, and that's without me having to travel to visit them out of a sense of filial piety, as would be the case with in-laws. All I have to do is say, "Yum." The lightness of being single and the benefits of living with a cohabitant go hand in hand. Of course, we're lucky that we complement each other in so many ways. If either one of us had been convinced that living alone or getting married was the only answer, we would have missed out on this felicitous arrangement. Now, wouldn't that be sad? They say that single-person households
Sample complete. Ready to continue?